Footwear. The people who lived in small villages or in the country usually wore leather footwear made by an itinerant shoemaker. This craftsman traveled the countryside and boarded with the families for whom he was making shoes and boots. The shoes were of plain leather, and the left and right shoes were identical. They were often several sizes too big, so that more than one family member could wear them. Children also wore shoes that were too big, so their feet could grow into them. For a better fit, the toes were stuffed with paper or cloth. Fancy women's shoes. Women living in large towns or cities wore high shoes outdoors. These shoes were fastened at the side with buttons or across the top with laces and could be made of soft black leather, kid leather made from the hide of young goats, or kid and satin. At home or on formal occasions, delicate slippers called pumps were worn. These were usually flat-heeled and made of silk or kid. One version, called a Roman sandal, was laced around the ankle like the sandals worn in ancient Rome. These delicate shoes were not suitable for walking outdoors. Men's shoes and boots. Men wore boots in the winter and shoes in the summer. Footwear was almost always of soft black leather. Shoes had low heels and laces replaced buckles, which were popular in the 18th century. Leather Oxfords are one example of a late century shoe style. The most common boots were called Wellington boots, named after the British Duke of Wellington. Protection from mud. Both men and women wore gaiters to protect their stockings or pants from mud. Gaiters were canvas leggings that were strapped over the top of the shoe and buttoned up the side or front of the leg. Clogs or pattens were also used in bad weather. Clogs were thick soles that fit under shoes, whereas a patten was a metal ring that raised a shoe above the mud and kept it clean. Let's look at all of these. Number 1, Roman sandals. Number 2, slippers were worn indoors. Number 3, outdoor shoes extended above the ankle and were buttoned or laced. These shoes, called high shoes, had either a pointed or square toe. Number 4, on more formal occasions, women wore silk or velvet shoes with small heels. These shoes were decorated with bows and usually matched the gown. Shoes with straps were also typical 19th century fancy footwear. Number 5, canvas gaiters that buttoned up the side could be worn to protect shoes and stockings from the mud. And number 6, pattens protected shoes by raising them above the ground. And stockings came in a variety of colors. The material from which they were made was called lisle. It was woven from fine cotton thread and was soft and durable. Shoes were often covered by gaiters. The Wellington boot was worn until the 1870s. Rubber galoshes were invented near the middle of the century. They were ideal in muddy weather. Spatterdashes, spats for short, became popular with formal black shoes. Laced high shoes, Oxfords. The first tennis shoes below appeared in the 1880s. They had canvas uppers and rubber soles. The first tennis shoe.